Your guys are live.
Good morning, Marshfield. I'm Rachel Andrews, Executive Director of the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce.
And I'm Rob Jones, President of the Marshfield Area Chamber of Commerce. We've been out for a week, so
we're rusty.
we're out of sync here today. And Rachel, who do we have with us today?
Yeah, we are excited to have Linda Dickinson with us today, but you might know her as Linda Roast.
That's right.
So she is joining us from the Webster County Historical Society,
Good job.
but she's also a chamber board member. We'll hear more about the Historical Society in just a little bit, but for now, let's talk about our sponsors. Ryan, do we have a minute for our sponsors?
Absolutely. We always have minutes for us. That's what we do.
All right, and we'll start off with Marshfield Chevrolet. All of these people are the ones that make this show happen. We don't spend a lot of money on the show, obviously. We don't have professional actors, but these are the people that make it happen. So thank you to Marshfield Chevrolet. We actually will be going there next month, and you'll hear about that in a little bit. Las Casuelas, our normal home for this show, but today we are doing a remote from the Historical Society. Barkey's, our sponsor, and you'll see their logos. They supply stuff to us every week. Whispering Oaks, we'll be visiting them in April, but they've come on board, and we're really looking forward to doing a live event there, as well as talking about all the golf tournaments and things they have coming up. And today, especially Rayfield Communications. We actually, in the Historical Society, did not have enough power to make this happen. So Rayfield jumped in, came to the Historical Society, hooked us up with extra internet speed, and they made all this happen. And thank you, John. Thank you so much for that. We really appreciate your participation. All right, I want to talk about
Cherry pies?
yeah.
I love talking about food. It's my favorite. Well, as you know, we were not able to do the show last week because of the snow, and last Thursday was National Cherry Pie Day. But don't you worry, because we got cherry pies today. Linda, what's this one in front of you?
Oh, it's a cherry pie.
I know. Lisa came in this morning and dropped this off. This particular pie is from Lisa's Eats and Treats. And doesn't it look amazing? Oh my goodness. She did such a wonderful job. And then this one over here is from Price Cutter. Doesn't it look good as well? And guess what, guys? Here's the deal. We're going to give these cherry pies away, but you have to comment that you want the cherry pie. So if you want
the cherry pie.
You want the cherry pie. Well, you did mention that you have utensils downstairs that we.
Yes.
Rob, can we have the cherry pie?
It's been, can you have
Can
the
we have the cherry pie?
No.
Come on.
It's been a fight all morning just to keep these two off of it and make sure that we have it for somebody that we can give it away. They've been talking all morning about only thing missing is ice cream.
I know,
How's
right?
that?
So here's the deal. If you don't want us to eat the cherry pie, you need to comment that you want the cherry pie. And I believe at the end of the show, Ryan, is that right? You're going to choose someone. We have 2 of these to give away. We'll have one from Lisa's and we have one from Price Cutter. And just comment that you want that cherry pie and we'll get your name in the drawing.
Or they could say they want us to have it.
Oh,
right?
yeah. Yeah, you could do that too.
Cherry pie, Linda.
Yeah, I don't think Rob's going to let us do that, are you?
No, not at all. Not at all.
We tried.
Well, we tried.
All right. And again, just simply put cherry pie, anything in the comments
Yeah.
so we can get you on board with that. All right. So today we are here at the Historical Society. And thank you, Linda, for coming in and helping us get all set up. Again, Rayfield, for your efforts. And what we want to do is talk a little bit first about, let's just talk about the Historical Society. Tell us a little bit about what the Historical Society is.
Okay, we started actually in 1952. They started because we was coming up on the 100th anniversary of the county. That was in 1855 was when the county
Yes.
became, okay. So they started that so that they could get a good celebration going, lots of things going on. It kind of died down shortly after that, but has built back up. So what we do is to maintain the history of the county. We focus, of course, a little bit more on Marshfield than the entire county, but we do have things here on all the towns that still are, and some of them that, like Waldo, that you might have never heard of
Right.
in Webster County. But we do that through volunteers. We need volunteers. Right now, most of our volunteers, I'm one of the younger ones. So that tells you, we need a little youth in
We
there.
need new blood.
We need new blood.
New younger
Yeah, that would be perfect, yeah.
Okay.
And how else can people get involved? Talk about the memberships.
We do have memberships. This would be a perfect year to join, because this year you can get a year membership for $10 or a lifetime membership for $50. Next year, it will go up to $100 for a lifetime, which still is a bargain.
That's still pretty cheap.
That's very cheap, yes.
And all that money just goes to maintain the facility and just help this continue on.
Yes, because no one within the society is paid. None of our volunteers, nobody is paid. It's all volunteer.
But we still got to keep the lights on.
We've got lights and heat and maintenance. It's an old building.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, let's talk about the building, because I found that fascinating on the history of the building itself.
It is. It originally was a Carnegie Library. At that time, which was built, it was finished in September of 1911. So in 1910 it started. Yeah. So you're sitting in a really old building. But there was a gentleman that knew some people that was within the Carnegie organization and talked to them, and they got the funds at that time.
You mean you weren't around in 1911 to do it?
It looked like it, but no. But it was the smallest community that had ever been given funding for a Carnegie Library.
And that's what I found fascinating. That little Marshfield at that time would have been a lot smaller, right?
Yes.
And here we are with the Carnegie Library.
Yeah.
What year, if you remember, did the library move from here to where it's at now? Do you remember?
I do not remember,
Okay.
but I've got a neat story about it. When they moved the books from here to the one behind us, it was a human chain. And so they had
Really?
enough people that went out the door and back there, so they would hand them.
That's
Yeah, isn't that
interesting.
cool?
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Bucket Brigade,
Yes,
books,
exactly.
book
Yeah, yeah.
Because I know
yeah.
that it was a librarian here when
It
I was
was.
younger.
Yes,
Because I
yeah.
remember coming in and checking books out.
Yeah, yeah.
So what year did the museum begin in here? Do you remember?
Around 2000, I
Okay.
believe. Don't hold me to that. Maybe a little bit,
Just
but
so
around that.
It's just been about 25
But,
years.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, a couple
Well,
of.
that's cool.
Yeah, it is.
Was it somewhere else before here? Because I don't remember if it was.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not, they met, I think, in different places. Like when it began, it met over at Johnny Andrews Cafe
Okay.
over there. That's kind of where they met. But yeah, no. So it's been a good group of people. I mean, really dedicated people that's kept it going.
Yeah. There's a
And there's
lot
no
of
government
history.
funding, right?
No.
And I think that's where people make a big mistake, is thinking this is government funding.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's all donations. We used to receive, like if you go to Price Cutter, you spend over $50, you get
yeah.
your receipt and you'll be able to leave there, and we would get money from that. 800 to 1,000 every month. Well, that's not there anymore.
Right.
So we'll do fundraisers like the taco and trivia. We've done some history walks and things like that.
And you are a 501c3.
We are a 501c3,
So people can donate
Yes.
and potentially have a
Tax write-off.
tax write-off.
Yes, yes.
It's not a tax season.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Anything helps, right?
That's
Yeah.
right. That's right. All right. So what we're going to do is we'll take a quick break here, and when we come back, we have some people we want to talk about in the community that I think a lot of people may not even know. They may know kind of a high level. We're going to talk a little bit about that. So if we could, Ryan, how about first our little teaser photo, and let's go to some commercial breaks, and we'll keep going on that. So
There you
our
go.
single gentleman photo. How's that?
There we go.
Yeah. Sorry. And
All right. And then we're going to do a commercial.
so
That's good.
we'll be right back after that.
It's harvest season at Marshfield Chevrolet. Whether you're working in the fields, hauling cattle to market, or a night out on the town, the Chevrolet Silverado is the most capable full-size pickup on the road. And right now at Marshfield Chevrolet, farmers and ranchers, you pay what we pay. That's right, employee pricing on all new in-stock Silverados. Stop by, check out our inventory at Marshfield Chevrolet, just 20 minutes on I-44, exit 100, or shop online, marshfieldchevrolet.com.
You're back.
Hi, we're back. So,
Well, wait a minute. Wait a
Wait,
minute.
wait.
You were talking about you're going to jump into the pies.
yes.
Okay.
But I see we have a few comments. So maybe I don't get to keep the pies.
That's right. We're already getting started, so you guys are out.
Listen, we only have a few comments.
All right. So
You
what
think
do we have
anybody
to
would
do?
notice? If we
Yeah, I
took them?
would.
You would notice?
I would
Would you
notice.
tell on me?
I would tell on both of you. Yes, that's right.
Even if we gave you one?
And so, first off, who are our pie suppliers again?
Yes, well, we are so thankful for Lisa's Eats and Treats for this cherry pie over here and Price Cutter for this one over here. And guys, these look so good. But apparently Rob's not going to let Linda and I take the pies home. So keep those comments coming. And I don't think you're going to let us out
No.
of the building with the pies, are you?
No, that's not going to happen. That's right.
All right.
Between you guys and Ryan, this is going to be a challenge.
I guess we better get moving on with them.
Upcoming events.
Yes, absolutely.
So what we'll do is Rachel will now tell us about some of the things we have gone on in the community over the
We've
next.
got some exciting things coming up. So let's start first. Let me get my,
And this will be one Linda's going to appreciate.
yeah, so the Historical Society is going to do trivia and tacos again on March 29th. And from what I understand, last time was a huge
It
success.
was very nice.
From what,
Lots
I
of fun.
think you guys had a ton of people show up and it was a ton of fun. Again, mark your calendars for Saturday, March 29th.
And what do we have to do to participate in that?
There's a registration that you fill out, and then just show up that night.
Yeah, you can call the Carmelita T.
Yes.
Scotter at 417-383-9538, and she can take care of you on getting registered for that. All right, the next we have next Friday, I believe, March the 7th, the Knights of Columbus will be holding their first fish fry of the year. So get down there and check out the Knights of Columbus fish fry.
And I love these things. It's every time I see them on the calendar, I go mark my calendar
Yes,
out there to go
yes.
to these, and they'll have the ones for the KFCs.
Yes.
They'll do things for the school as well.
And that's
so.
what I didn't understand, like what the money went towards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they also give coats to kids at
Yes.
like the end of the year.
They
Yeah.
did a fundraiser for us also.
Did they?
Yeah.
That's right, yes. So get out there and support the Knights of Columbus because you're not only supporting the Knights of Columbus, you're supporting our community. So get over there and support them. Next up, we have KLM Sales. They are having their grand reopening this Saturday. So if you don't already have it on your calendar, March the 1st, from 10 to 2, they are going to have their grand reopening. Oh my goodness. If you've not been to this store, you need to check it out. They're going from a smaller location to a bigger location. They're going to be where Cato used to be, and that's a huge store. And Lauren has been working so hard to get this ready for us. So this Saturday from 10 to 2, stop by KLM Sales for the grand reopening.
You must be getting a discount, man. You pushed that hard.
I know. Man, she's got some good bargains in there. And I may or may not have gotten some good bargains.
You're working for it. How's
I
that?
am. Lauren takes care of me. All right. Next up, we have a chili cook-off at the Marshfield United Methodist Church. This one looks really good, too.
Well, we wanted to have a cook-off, and nobody could pull it off.
I know.
So this is the perfect
Yes,
opportunity to go
perfect
see
opportunity.
one.
I promise everyone I will not be putting chili in this. I'm not a cook. But I might come participate. I
Okay.
mean, I participate as a judge. No, well,
Maybe just
maybe to
as a
taste.
eater.
Maybe just to eat. But I can't cook. But it's this Saturday,
Correct.
Woo!
Yes.
I'm glad I looked. It's this Saturday, March the 1st at the Marshfield United Methodist Church. So get that one on your calendar if it's not already on there. All right. So moving on, we have True North Movement's is it Mester?
Mester.
I don't know. I'm sorry, Emily, if I butchered that. Mini Mester class. I believe signups are through March 14th. I'm sorry, Ryan, I can't see that from here. March 14th. Early bird pricing of $100 as through March 14th. So check that out. If you have any questions, I'm sure Emily can answer those for you. And then moving on, the Marshfield Saddle Club has a ton of things going on. This is just one of them. They have a swap meet. They will have these monthly from April through October. Their first one will be April 12th, and they'll have them every second Saturday of the month. I think your best bet to find out what's going on at the Saddle Club is to check out their Facebook page because, like I said, they've got so much coming up. They have something coming up for Easter, just tons and tons of stuff coming up. So check out their Facebook page and you'll learn more information about the Saddle Club. All right. And our March networking event, we plan to have that on March 19th. As you may recall, we had to cancel February's because of the snow.
Right.
So we're very hopeful that we will have sunshine on March 19th. So go ahead and register for that if you haven't had a chance to do that yet. And we look forward to seeing you on March 19th. And this time it's at Marshfield Chevrolet. Do you think they'll let us maybe test drive a Camaro?
Yeah, well,
Or Corvette?
Corvette. We at least want to start the show off with us sitting in a Corvette.
Yes.
That's what we've said, right?
But I really want a Tahoe.
Well, that's between you
I know.
and Chase. You
I
guys
know.
are still working on that.
I know. And John said no. I don't understand that, but whatever.
So you're not getting a Tahoe.
No, not today. Not today. All right. If you have not had a chance yet to join the Marshfield Chamber, we invite you to do that. We have memberships available for individuals and businesses. You can take a look at those options by scanning.
Okay. Rachel had to break off for a cough here. How's that? So I'm picking it up. Yeah, to join the chamber, you have the opportunity here. You can scan our QR code. This is going to be fun. We're going to make fun over the rest of the day. How's that? Or you can reach out to discovermarshfield.com to our chamber website and reach out to us and talk about that. All right, let's move along. How's that? So what we really want to do now is we want to break into and start talking about a particular citizen of Marshfield that a lot of people may have heard about but don't know a lot about. And as time has gone on, I'm sure the stories start fading. So what we're going to do today is the gentleman you see on the screen is Del Massey. And we're going to talk today about Del Massey. Basically, let's back up a little bit even, and let's talk about Marshfield leading into that time frame. If you go back to 1860 or so, right before the Civil War, Marshfield had about 120 slaves. It's kind of documented. That's the estimated number we had in the area. And then after the war, for the most part, people stayed for a while, but then they started to tend to drift off and go from there. And so that's kind of a background of our community. And as it turns out, Del was actually the last black citizen of Marshfield when he passed away in 1859 or 1959.
Yes.
Let me get the right millennium even here or something. How's that? So what we're going to do a little bit is talk about Del and go from there. So Linda, Del was born, I think, in 1901, right?
Yeah, I believe that's right.
So tell us a little bit that you know about Del, and we'll kind of all build in and pile on. How's that?
So he died in 1959. His mother passed away, I think, the year before.
Yes.
Yes.
And I vaguely remember Dale. I've heard lots of stories. My parents both knew him. The last librarian in this building was Lib Sims, and his mother, Rosie, worked for them, and Dale taught her to be a master gardener. So he was I started to say well liked, but Dale was really loved. The children just loved him. I mean, I can remember when you saw him, it was Dale, there's Dale, and he would give you candy and just so kind. He loved the people and especially the children.
And Ryan, I think we have a photo of Del and his mother. His mother was Rosie Mosby. Mm-hmm. And, there you go. And Rosie had passed away a year before Del. They were actually, Rosie's parents were some of the slaves that had remained in the area after the Civil War. And so they stayed in here. And apparently over time, a lot of the citizens moved on to Springfield and other areas, the black citizens, and left. Basically, the last two were Rosie and Dell, right?
They were Bear Burford, who was a pastor here and would preach at several different churches, but him and his family basically moved to Kansas City. And so we know where a few of them went, but not many.
Okay. All right. So, Ryan, how about we take a quick commercial break here, and then we'll come back and get back strong on to Dell and his background and some of the fun stuff that we know about Dell.
It's harvest season at Marshfield Chevrolet. Whether you're working in the fields, hauling cattle to market, or a night out on the town, the Chevrolet Silverado is the most capable full-size pickup on the road. And right now at Marshfield Chevrolet, farmers and ranchers, you pay what we pay. That's right, employee pricing on all new in-stock Silverados. Stop by, check out our inventory at Marshfield Chevrolet, just 20 minutes on I-44, exit 100, or shop online, marshfieldchevrolet.com.
Side of it.
Yeah.
All right, and we're back. So now we're going to get into some of the stories and tales that we talk about. One of the things that most people probably don't know was that starting in the late 20s and into early, I think, 1930, Dell was a boxer.
He was.
Tell us about his boxing.
So if I can remember the story straight, he made the brag that he could beat anybody in Marshfield. And then he said, hey, I can beat anybody in Webster County. And then he said, I can beat anybody in the state. Well, he had a fight in Springfield.
In 1930, there were
Yeah,
actually
and-
3,500 people attended this outdoor fight of two black fighters in Springfield during the Depression.
Yes.
To me, that's impressive.
Yeah. And he lost.
Yeah.
And so he said, well, I just extended my territory too far out.
That's still quite a feat, though.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and Dell was known as the Black Cyclone, right?
Yes, he was,
In
yeah.
reference to the cyclone that had hit Marshfield. And the gentleman he actually lost to was the Southwest USA Black Champion, and who was out of Wichita. And I think his name was Tiger or somebody or another,
like
right?
that.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about Dell's time. I know he would spend a lot of time on the square. That's kind of where a lot of his work came from. Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, and that's generally when you came into town, because at that time, the square was Marshfield. I mean, we didn't have the spur or anything, everything. So when you came to town, you saw whoever was on the square. And the gentleman would take him to lunch, but Dell would never go inside and eat. Several different places, like there at Johnny Andrews, where the sweet shop used to be, he generally would go to the back door. And they would tell him, come on in, and he would say no, and they would give him his lunch. He'd ask for it in a paper bag, and he would take it outside and eat.
And actually eat in the back alley,
Eat
right?
in the, yes.
Now, did I read somewhere where some of the businessmen would buy his lunch?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And he would just take it and then go to the back
And
alley
go
and,
to-
and
yes.
eat.
Yeah.
It was always the blue plate special.
Yes,
Yes.
yes,
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and talk about, because he would spend a lot of time on the square, and basically when people needed help, they would come into town, pick him up, and then go out and do work for them. Talk a little bit about that.
That's true. He would. And besides just that, if you didn't see him up there, you knew he was probably out helping people train their horses or train their dogs. There is a story that he came into town one time with a goat.
Yes.
And the goat, he had trained it just like you would a dog, and it could sit or it would stay or, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's
And,
cool. I can
yeah.
see that he just loved all animals.
He did, and was very good. Kind of like a horse whisperer
Right.
almost. That,
Right.
But a lot of times in the 4th of July parades, you would see him leading a horse.
Really?
Yeah,
Aw.
yeah.
But that goat story was one of my favorite ones, and reading the history on Dell, because because he would literally lead it around the square and have it doing all these tricks like a dog would do.
Yeah, yeah.
And also gardening, right? He was big into
Yes.
gardening.
Very much so. I think I mentioned a while ago, Liv
Yeah, about Liv
Sims.
Sims.
And she said if it wasn't for him, she wouldn't be able to be the master gardener
Right.
that she is. So yeah, he just had that green thumb and a special gift. Yeah. He did.
And at that time, talk about lunchtime when Dell would go to work for these people.
They would invite him in to eat with them, but he again would just say, "No, I'll eat out here on the porch." But the little kids then would ask their parents, "Can I not go eat with Dale?" And so instead of eating inside,
They would go eat
They
with
would go
him.
eat with him. Yes,
Which leads us into the real story about Dell is
Yes.
the children.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
So when he passed away in 1959, his funeral was at Rainey's Funeral Home, which is located on East Washington, where, Hosmer's has a.
Is that where Arthur's? Am I
it,
in the
it
right
was
area?
Arthur's, yeah, and now at one time it was a Italian restaurant.
Yes, I ate there one time.
and it was good.
It was good.
But there was over 600 people that
I read
attended.
that, yes.
Which was the largest funeral at that time.
Yeah.
And they said they never remembered that many people being there, which really showed how
It did.
people. Yeah.
And I also read that when he was in the hospital,
Yes.
that there was just tons and tons of people that came to visit him.
In Springfield. He was at
Yes.
Mercy in
Right.
Springfield.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just think that showed how much people loved him.
It did, yeah, and they and they did. So
Yes.
So when he passed away, people did not realize this, and I'm not for sure. I'm sure a handful of people did, but it wasn't till about 15 years later that they realized that he had donated his property to the children of Marshfield. And
I just love that.
I do too. Yeah, you've got Massey Park now because of that.
And so, yes, so we had the Massey Park, and you have the marker there in the park itself, just commemorating Dell and his life. Is there anything else on Dell before we move on that we need to talk about?
Except that I would love to see somebody step up and make a bronze statue of him down there. So if anybody's out there and you've got some resources, I think that would be such a tribute to him. So
Yes.
that people do not forget.
Absolutely.
And he
Yes.
was just,
Yeah.
he was precious.
Yes, 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 yes.
Well, and Linda, thank you.
Thank you.
I know we could have talked about this for 2 hours. I mean,
Yes.
all the stories that you hear in
Oh,
town
yes.
about Dell and the funny and the
Yes,
serious and the
yeah.
some that are kind of bad and tragic. But it was a gentleman that was well respected
was loved,
and really has been a cornerstone of this. And again, when he passed away in 1959, we were a town of about 2,000 people, and he was literally our last black citizen at that point
That
living
point,
in town.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about our next show.
Oh, our next show is going to be a good one. We are going to welcome Pamela Hernandez with the Better Business Bureau. Next Thursday, we're going to be back at Las Coazelas, so make sure you join us next Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. But before we go, I think you're going to make us give away those pies.
So, are we going to announce that on here?
Yep.
All right.
Rachel Andrews.
Pick a pie, give it away.
Okay.
Let's start with Lisa's homemade. I'm sorry. Lisa's Eats and Treats. I'm so sorry, Lisa. It's early. We're going to give your pie away first. Ryan, can we give that to her?
How is she related?
That's my mom.
Yes, and then she'll give it to
Oh,
us.
that's even better.
Yeah.
No,
Ryan-
disqualified.
Ryan, we better not do that because people's going to think it's rigged.
Fix.
I'm sorry, Ryan. I can't see that. My eyes are bad. Olivia Mendez, congratulations. We are going to give you Lisa's Eats and Treats cherry pie, and it looks so good.
You better go buy your mom.
I know, right? Because she's
Stop
taking
down
care
at the chamber and get
Yes,
this pie. Pick
yes,
them up at the
please-
chamber.
Please reach out to the chamber, and we'll get you your pie, Olivia.
All
Let's
right.
move on to Price Cutter's pie. This one looks so good as well. All right, who are we going to give this one to? I can't see it, Ryan. I'm sorry.
Victoria Daly.
Victoria, reach out to the chamber and we will get you this pie. You can Facebook message us. You can call me 417-859-3925. We will get you girls these pies. Mom, I will get you a pie or something because I know I'm in trouble if I
Let's do
don't.
some quick comments.
All right, let's look at the comments.
All right, Ryan, you're going to have to read them. We can't see them
I
over
can see
here.
this one.
Oh, can you?
I
Okay,
can see.
okay.
Ashley, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I love the new headshots, by the way. They're gorgeous. All right, I can't see anymore. I can only see that
Here
one
we
because
go.
Ryan put it up. Oh, Helen Newman.
Oh, Helen.
Helen wanted to make sure that you were going to be on this morning.
Oh,
with
bless
us.
her heart.
Yes,
She is wonderful. I love
Yes, she
Helen.
is.
So if you're at events and you see a lady that's dressed in costume,
Yes.
which that would be Helen. She's a wonderful photographer.
Is she?
She is.
I think I
She's
knew that, and I
amazing.
just
Yes.
forgot. She
And here's
comes to the park.
Barky's. Good
Yeah.
morning to our favorite morning show.
Hey,
and
Barky's.
the best chamber around.
That's right.
Boy, they got that nailed,
They
don't
do.
Just not the best hosts.
Well, we try our best.
One more.
All right. Oh, here's Sarah Angst.
Hey, Sarah. Thanks for
good
joining
morning.
us this morning.
Yes.
We're gonna do two more. There we go.
All right.
Victoria says, "Love watching your guys' show."
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thanks
Victoria.
for joining us.
Of course, she loves watching our show. She got a pie. All right, so we better wrap this thing up. Can we go real quickly to our sponsor slide one last time?
Oh, wait. We gotta do one more.
Oh, you found one you want, huh?
Oh, hey, Gail.
Oh,
I'm so glad you could join us.
Yes.
from what?
Yeah.
England.
No way.
She's
Her Tom
local
of
to
it.
Marshfield, though.
Yeah, she
But
is.
she's in England now.
Yes,
huh?
We
yes.
have an international show.
All right.
Absolutely.
Well, we have hit the big time.
We
huh?
have. Gail's known me, I
We'll
think,
get
all
a
my
new
life.
Carnegie or
That's
something.
right.
All right. Closing up then with our sponsors. Thank you again to all these folks. Marshfield Chevrolet, we'll see you next month. Las Casuelas, we'll see you next week. Barky's, thank you for all you do. We had a great show there last time. John and the crew did a great job. Whispering Oaks, we're coming up there in April. And really, we'll start pushing hard all the golf tournaments as they're coming up and being
Yes.
scheduled and announced. And to Rayfield Communications, thank you, John, for making all this happen in the Historical Society today. Couldn't have done it without you. We did not have the internet power. He jumped in, set up the temporary setup for us. Thank you so much. So with that, Rachel.
All right. We will see you next Thursday morning at 9 o'clock. Have a good day.
Thank you,
Bye.
Linda.
Thank you. Bye.